Hey, Wixman Ray here. Hey, we're putting together another weather update for you. We got some severe storms out there in a few areas, and then we got some regular old storms, and then some regular old rain. If I can spit out regular old rain. All right. So hey, I got the RGB shot. The sun's starting to set out in the east. That's why it's kind of looking like this stuff's all turning red out here up in the northeast. But so we're at Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. Basically 7 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone, 5 p.m. out on the West Coast or in Pacific Time Zone, and on the Eastern Daylight Time. Mostly on the East Coast, we got 8 p.m. going on. So it's evening out there for most of us, and late afternoon on the West. So yeah, so we got some rain and storms going on up here. Rain and thunderstorms up through the Northeast, extending down into Pennsylvania. And then we got some pretty stout looking storms moving out of Indiana into Ohio there. And then a little more organized. We got some tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings out here across parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, and I believe Illinois too. But we'll take a look. We've got this whole system here, kind of the same type of situation we've had most of the week since this weekend. So, and it looks like some pretty stout storms, some severe across Oklahoma and Texas here, and then some cloud cover with some showers up across Kansas and parts of Nebraska and Missouri. Most of this is just clouds, not a lot of rain with it. And then that clouds extends well down into Texas and even the country of Mexico, our neighbor. And then we got an upper level low spinning out here over Colorado. You can kind of see a little bit of spin if you look real closely. So that's kicking up mostly some showers, some high elevation snow. Um, and there's also some showers and thunderstorms extending up into the Dakotas and western Nebraska associated with this feature. And then we got that system that's been moving into the Pacific Northwest with a bunch of rain, mainly for Oregon and Washington, a little bit up in northern Idaho, and even maybe getting into Montana, at least the western side. And it's starting to creep towards Northern California, but it'll be more towards tonight, tomorrow before that happens. All right, we'll look at our surface obs. We'll start out west. That's the easiest one to cover. Um, Looks like some winter storm warnings up over the higher elevation of the Olympias, the mountains here in Washington. A lot of rain though. Portland and Seattle are in the 40s with some rain, some light rain, and that extends all the way over into the western part of the state. Some breaks in it here and there. It looks like, yeah, it looks like that's a higher elevation snow, mostly rain down in the valleys here in northern Idaho. And that's starting to creep into far reaches of Montana. And yeah, it's just barely clipping. The rain's getting close to Crescent City, California, so it's going to be there tonight for you guys. So sorry about that. The rest of the West is pretty nice. We've got 60s, some 50s, 57 in Salt Lake. Boise's at 60. Vegas is still a little bit cooler, 73, but a really nice day to be in Las Vegas if you want to be down there for having the fun. LA's pretty nice, 67. They've got the marine layer, the marine influence with the winds coming off the Pacific, the cooler Pacific. A little bit cooler in San Francisco, 59, but nice in the valleys there in the 70s. And then Phoenix is 78, so upper 70s across the desert, so not too bad today. That cooler air has definitely cooled them off. A little bit of gusty winds out in New Mexico. Looks like some 30s, maybe 40-mile-per-hour winds in places. In the 70s, 60s, and 50s as you get up into the northern part of the state. And then here's those showers. You're probably going to see real high elevation snow. Most of the lower elevations are in the 40s. So, but yeah, up in the passes, you'll see some snow up there, probably along I-70 and some other parts up there in Colorado. Cheyenne's got some light rain at 42. And then we got some rain out across western Nebraska, and that extends up into South Dakota, mainly in the 50s and 60s out there. A few little showers in North Dakota, but nothing too significant really. And yeah, and then we got some thunderstorms, it looks like, developing across, real isolated across parts of Nebraska here, and then showers farther back. Pretty quiet across Kansas right now. Maybe some stuff will get going, some thunderstorms. It's real warm. It's in the 80s out here in Kansas and even into Missouri. Not much in the way of rain in Missouri either. You go up here. Here's where all your. This is where your most. The most of the severe weather is right now. We got a bunch of tornado warnings in parts of eastern Iowa, north, looks like northern corner, northwest corner of Illinois, and a couple up into Wisconsin there. A couple cells are misbehaving. Otherwise, some severe thunderstorm warnings. So some pretty strong to severe thunderstorms going across parts of Wisconsin and Iowa. Watch out for tornadoes and take cover if you're listening to this after we put this out. It looks like a couple of storms out through, moving out of Indiana into Ohio. Some severe thunderstorm warnings on those, so watch out for those. It looks like I've seen at least a 50-mile-per-hour gust at one of those sites. So they're getting, pretty significant. Even up into Pennsylvania, New York, and to parts of the Northeast here, there's a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. Based on what I'm seeing, mostly a damaging wind threat. I guess you can't rule out a little bit of hail, but the way this is kind of lined up into a line, that's usually the most significant threat. And then we got just some general rain and showers up in Maine and parts of Vermont, back in the 40s and 50s up there. So yeah, and then you got 80s south of the front, all down through here, some 70s to 80 across the southeast, and Florida's in the 70s. So pretty nice weather elsewhere. Going over towards Texas and Oklahoma, we got a couple of misbehaving storms. It looks like no severe warnings right now in Oklahoma. Those are kind of weakening a little bit. We got some showers extending up towards Tulsa. A couple of severe storms out to the west of Wichita Falls, Texas. There's this major highway that runs through here. I forget. It goes down from Childress down through this general area down towards Dallas, Fort Worth area. But anyways, there's a couple severe storms down there, and then real isolated as you go south. Some showers and storms, even a few out in New Mexico. And a little bit of gusty winds too. It looks like they have a high wind warning for this area right out here, but it's like some gusts up to about 40, 45 miles an hour in the West Texas and eastern New Mexico. Elsewhere, a little gusty, maybe 30 miles an hour at the most, across parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. But yeah, nothing to write home about. That's about what they get daily out there. So that's the basic what's occurring right now. Let's go ahead, and I didn't update this, but I'll show you the forecast really quickly here. So here we go. So this is for the rest of tonight. So this is kind of just a broad brush look of all those showers and thunderstorms across the Midwest and the Great Lakes here. And then kind of more spotty as you head south through Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas, Arkansas, all the way down through West Texas. So this will kind of be isolated, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Like I said, a few could still be severe through tonight. I think late tonight, sometime after midnight, most of this activity will weaken and just become thunderstorms. And then this stuff may be ongoing severe into the wee or morning hours, but we'll see how that evolves. It looks like some lingering rain across the Northeast, but by, this is about midnight to 1 a.m. out here, it's starting to wind down. You can see that's, yeah, it goes away pretty quick. So that'll be winded down tonight across the Northeast. There'll be a few showers left over, but the bulk of it will be gone. We still got this stuff over and around the Four Corners area. Some showers and some high elevation rain or snow. still got this little feature up here. That's a little weak, that's a remnant low that's moved out into North Dakota with some rain and parts of Montana and Dakotas. And then this is what's left of this storm out here. It looks like it kind of starts to weaken as it comes inland, but it'll still produce some weather as it moves southward, I believe, south and east. So that's tonight. As we go through tomorrow morning, we still got this stuff ongoing across Colorado and Utah, even a little bit into New Mexico. This we'll see a reinforcing shot of rain coming into the Pacific Northwest again, and then we'll see. So overnight, most of these thunderstorms are gone. This activity, all these thunderstorms, is now moving over towards the eastern Great Lakes and parts of the Northeast, and maybe a few lingering showers and storms across the Ohio Valley and parts of the Mid-Atlantic. And that by tomorrow evening, that'll be up across the Northeast. But we'll see this stuff refire across the, West Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, up into Iowa, parts of the Midwest there. And that'll get pretty blossom pretty good as we go into the evening and nighttime hours. So I think it'll be a little more active, and especially in the southern end of this, from say southern Iowa, Illinois, southward, from what it is today. Today it's real isolated. Some areas won't even get anything, but tomorrow it looks like it's going to be a little more organized, especially like from Oklahoma northward. They'll have a few more storms in Texas, I think, but not as much as we'll see farther north. So, and and then this feature here in Colorado is starting to move out into the plains, and that's why this stuff's intensifying. In fact, you see the low develop here, so it's kind of gone bye-bye out of the Rockies, and you get a low developing out in Nebraska, and that'll just push all this stuff eastward. So we'll see showers and thunderstorms across parts of the Northeast into the Midwest, parts of the Ohio Valley, and then stretching down from Missouri down through West Texas as we go through the overnight into Wednesday morning. And then this stuff will start pushing inland. That'll bring some colder air in up across the west. Still some rain in the valleys, especially along the coastal areas. Portland, Seattle may start to dry out a little bit, but the mountains may still see some snow lingering. So that's on Wednesday morning as we went through the day. So it looks like another reinforcing round of moisture and energy coming off the Pacific. So we'll see, valley rain, mountain snow out here. And then this stuff's, going pretty good on, this is Wednesday. So it's still going on. This is late Wednesday, so more chance of severe out through here. It'll probably start in Kansas City early on and then kind of move east to there, but still affecting Oklahoma and parts of Texas, Missouri, and then up through the Midwest, and even towards the East Coast. It looks like they'll probably have thunderstorms all through here. Probably more rain as we get up into parts of the Northeast here, but maybe some storms on the southern fringe on Wednesday. So pretty active. I mean, we're just going to see round after round of this through Friday and even Saturday, and then it'll kind of start to quiet down after that. So we're looking at going into Thursday morning. So it looks like parts of northern Nevada, Idaho, and even Montana and Wyoming, some of the lower elevations, even into northern Utah, may see some snow in the morning. Hard to say how much, if any, will accumulate. Just depends on how cold the temperatures get that night on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. But there's definitely potential for snow as a much colder air comes in with this system. We'll see this system kind of push east. We'll have some lingering showers and storms out here through Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas, and then up across the Great Lakes and parts of the Northeast. And that's for Thursday. So the central part of the country will kind of have a reprieve on Thursday. There might be a few storms that develop out in Oklahoma and Texas, and but it looks a lot quieter for the center part of the country on Thursday. Then it looks like they're still hinting at some snow. A lot of it's up in Canada, but coming dipping down in North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and parts of Utah. Um, so some snow looking likely as we go into Friday. It kind of starts up Thursday night, Friday, and then across from Nebraska up through the Dakotas, even maybe parts of eastern Colorado, at least the northeast part, may get us some snow. Maybe the corner of Kansas might get a little rain or snow. But this looks like so we're going to see a pretty strong low pressure form with this on the eastern side of Colorado and move out through the plains. And what that's going to do is cause some very strong winds. I wouldn't be surprised to see some high wind warnings out through the northern plains, and that may extend all the way down through Kansas, Oklahoma, and West Texas. So this whole area is going to be windy, especially on the cold side of the cold front here. Looks like a good chance of severe thunderstorms from say Iowa southward, Missouri, Kansas, um, even down into Oklahoma and Texas, and then eastward into Arkansas and Illinois. So yeah, look at that. That's Saturday morning, and then Saturday, from parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin may get a pretty good dose of snow on Saturday. And then this front will move east on Saturday. Still a threat of some thunderstorms all along the front here. They've got a marginal risk up here across parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley, Great Lakes area, and I'll show you that. So pretty active this week. It looks like after tonight we got that threat of some tornadoes, especially the northern end. There'll be a few on the southern end, severe storms with some tornadoes and all the other severe weather associated with those type of storms. And then Wednesday, tomorrow looks like a pretty good threat, and then Friday. So Wednesday and Friday are your best bets across the center part of the country, moving eastward towards the Midwest and towards the Ohio Valley and down through the south. So watch out for that as we go through the early in the weekend. I won't go past Saturday because there's just a lot going on here. And then probably starting tomorrow, I'll show you what it's doing through Sunday. So. Last thing I will show you, last but not least, is our convective outlook. So for today, the rest of tonight, yeah, enhanced risk up over the Great Lakes from Michigan, through parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and southern Wisconsin, even maybe parts of Ohio. They got a slight risk up here. So, and then a kind of a slight risk down through parts of Missouri, southeast Nebraska, Kansas, especially up near Wichita and Oklahoma City. Down southward, there's an enhanced risk of some severe thunderstorms. So all through this area, watch out tonight, through the rest of tonight. Most of them, like say from Missouri southward, will probably have a decreasing threat after midnight up here. This could be ongoing for a while tonight. Looks like this threat will be out here for a good part of the night, at least through, it'll probably die down pretty quickly after sunset, but maybe till 10, 11 o'clock, maybe even midnight out here. So keep an eye on that. Pretty active today for the rest of tonight. As you go into tomorrow, same general area. A little bit eastward shift slightly, but same areas, Illinois with southern Wisconsin. I mean, even the dark green, there's a severe threat. So same general areas, for the most part. So yeah, watch out tomorrow. Looks like a tornado threat, especially across Oklahoma, maybe parts of southeast or southwest Missouri, a little wind threat and a hail threat, especially across Oklahoma, up near Wichita, Kansas, and down into Wichita Falls, Texas. So yeah, and that's for tomorrow, Wednesday. As we go into Thursday, we'll see a little lull in the action. Still a marginal, so there could be a couple storms severe that are misbehaving from, say here the Boothville, Missouri, that area, southern Illinois through Indiana, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, parts of Kentucky, and even Clippan, Tennessee down there. So watch out. Not totally out of the woods, but it looks like a little reprieve on Thursday, and then Friday it gets going. I mean, now they've got a kind of an enhanced risk on Friday from say Des Moines, Kansas City down through Wichita, and kind of touching Oklahoma City, and then surrounding areas, so all through the central northern plains into parts of the Midwest on Friday. So watch out. Friday is going to be a probably I think that's going to be one of the more significant days. It'll be similar to today, but more concentrated across Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. So watch out for that. And then even on day 5, they've got kind of parts of the Ohio Valley and parts of the Michigan, parts of the Great Lakes there. So watch out, in that area on Saturday. After that, it looks like it's going to start. Probably not going to be much potential, but we'll see. We'll see what it shows after Saturday. So that's kind of what it's looking like now, folks. Sorry, I got the hiccups. I just ate dinner earlier. Anyways, hey, I appreciate y'all. If something significant pops up, maybe near my area, I may throw in another video, because it's just close to me. But there's definitely severe stuff up north, and so if you're in that neck of the woods, pay attention to your local weather stations or weather radio or weather service warnings, whatever it is. Just take cover if you get tornadoes, and take care if you get severe thunderstorm warnings, because even those can, knock out windows and cause damage to your home and to your property. So, anyways, this is I appreciate y'all. Wixman Ray out.